Welcome to My Skills, My Future, a career mentoring platform. In this video, we'll discuss a topic called blood relations. Blood relation. It is one of the most important topics for any of the placement examinations as well as for competitive examinations. So from this topic, you'll definitely get 1 to 2 marks from this particular topic. So having an idea of a blood relations is very important in our society also. So the main intention of examiner is to test the relations which is known for us. Whether the candidate or the student is good at relations or not, the only main idea in this topic is that one only. So let's start. What is meant by blood relation first? So the blood relation means the relation the relation the relation which is established which is established from one's own blood one's own blood. So the basic definition for blood relations is the relation which is established from one's own blood. So how the relation is established in general way? So basically the relation is established in two ways. That is, the relation is established in two ways. That is, one is by birth and other is by marriage. So what are the relations which will come by birth? So as we know that by birth, what are the relations which comes to us? So by birth, father and mother relations will come to us. Suppose if you are born, what will you get? You have mother and you have father to you. And there is also one more way by relation is established. That is by marriage. So by marriage, if you are a male member, you will get wife. And if you are a female member, you will get your husband. So by marriage, what are the relations will come? Wife and husband. So this wife and husband relationship, we call it as a spouse relationship. This wife and husband relationship we call it as spouse relationship. So in the blood relations, we basically represent a male relation with a positive symbol, a male relation with a positive symbol, and a female relationship with a negative symbol. Sir, why you are saying male with a positive and female with a negative? So male may not be the negative sense. They also give positive sense. Some may think like that, but that is not the main idea here. Just we are representing for our convenience only. Suppose if you feel convenient representing positive with female, representing negative with male, that is also you can do it. But for our convenience only, we are representing in this way. So I am repeating again. Blood relation, the relation which is established by one's own blood, that we call it as a blood relation. Generally, the blood relation is established in two ways, that is by birth and by marriage. So by birth, what are the relations which will come to you? So father and mother relations will come to you. And by marriage, what are the relations which will come to you? So wife and husband relationship will come to you. So generally, wife and husband relationship we are making it as spouse relation. And in blood relation, male relation is denoted with a positive symbol and a female with a negative symbol. And let's see some of the relations here. Suppose, let us take it from your mother's side. Let us take it from your mother's side. So in order to solve the blood relation problem, always assume that you are at that position, or you are the person only, you are that person only. If you feel like that, it will be easy for us to solve the problem. So see here, what we called as mother's mother. Suppose if your mother's mother, what will be to you? Your mother's mother, what will be to you? So basically, it will be grandmother. Since we are saying it from mother side, we append a word called maternal. Suppose if it is of father side, we call it as it is of paternal. So that we'll say in the next slide. And what do you call your mother's father? Your mother's father will be what to you? So it will be of grandfather. since we are saying it from mother side, we call it as maternal grandfather. Maternal grandfather. Next one. What is your mother's brother to you? What is your mother's brother to you? So that is simply we call it as uncle. It is called as uncle. Next, what is your mother's sister to you? What is your mother's sister to you? It will means simply we call it as aunt. Simply call it as aunt. Next, what is your mother's husband to you? So it is nothing but your father only. So it is nothing but your father only. So I'm repeating the relations again. So your mother's mother will be of grandmother, or in order to say it precisely, maternal grandmother, and your mother's father will be to you maternal grandfather, and your mother's brother will be to you uncle to you, and your mother's sister will be to you aunt to you, and your mother's husband will be the father to you directly. And let us see the same relations with respect to your father's side. So with the father side also these are same relations are will came, but the only word will be changed it. In the mother side we are taking it as a maternal, and in the case of father side we use a word called paternal. So what is your mother's mother to you? What is your okay? What is your father's mother to you? That will be grandmother. In order to say it precisely, it will be paternal grandmother. Paternal grandmother. Next, what is your father's father to you? What is your father's father to you means it will be paternal grandfather. Paternal grandfather. Next, what is your father's brother to you? What is your father's brother to you? So it is also simply it is uncle only. So in the case of mother's brother is also uncle, and in the case of father's brother is also uncle. Next, what is your father's sister to you? It is also aunt. So in the case of mother's sister is also aunt. In the case of father's sister is also aunt. So sir, why you are saying like this? In the case of mother side and in the case of father side also, you are saying the same relations. How we recognize that one? So in order to say it precisely, we generally append a word called here maternal, and here general append a word called maternal aunt. So in the case of father side also, we generally append it as paternal uncle, and here also paternal. So in the case of father sister, we append a word here called paternal aunt. So it is nothing but your father's wife will be simply your mother. So try to remember or try to memorize these relations. So if we remember these relations, then it is easy for us to solve the problems. So let's see the next one. So this will be very important while solving the problems of blood relations. So this generation chart will help us to solve some 1 to 2 model of problems in an easy manner if you remember this one. So let us see the things here. Suppose let us assume that you are at this position. You may be a male member or you may be a female member. Suppose we are at this position, which means we are at zeroth generation. We are at zeroth generation. Always consider that you are at zeroth generation or zeroth position. At this position, suppose you may be a male person. Suppose if you are a male person, if you get married, you'll get your wife. You'll get your wife. Suppose if you are a female person, you'll get your husband. If you are a male person, you'll get your wife, and if you are a female person, you'll get your husband. Along with this also, you'll get some more person. Suppose you are a male person and you have some sisters, so those are also come in this in your generation only, and you are also having some brothers, so he also it is also comes in your generation only. And in your generation also some cousins will also present. Why? Because suppose if you had a father and if your father's brother had some children, those will be cousins to you. Or if your mother had some brother or some sister, those children also will also be called as to you, cousins to you. Suppose next, and some more relations will also be present in the zeroth generation. What are those relations means? That is a brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Suppose if you are a male person and you are getting married, and your wife had either brother or sister. Those brother and your wife's brother or sister will be to you brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Suppose if you are a female person and you are married with your husband, and suppose if your husband had some brothers and sister, those will be to you sister-in-law and brother-in-law. So these are the only relations which comes in zeroth generation. So try to remember it. What are the relations which will come in zeroth generation? So I am repeating again. So you will be at a zeroth generation. Suppose if you are a male person, you will be getting married and you will get wife. If you are a female person, you will get your husband. Along with your husband and wife also, there are some more relations possible. That is brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and apart from those brother-in-law and sister-in-law, you'll get your sister, brother and cousins. All these relations will come at zeroth generation. No other relations will come at this generation. Only these are the people which will come at this generation. And let us take one more generation above to us. Let us take one more generation above. That is, let us consider it as a plus one generation. So the generation which is above us. So the generation which is above us who are present. Suppose if I am a male person, if I am a male person, so at our greater generation or plus one generation who will be present, and I had my mother and my father, and I had my father and I had my mother. Suppose if I am getting married, my wife had also father and mother. So those will be to me what? Those will be father-in-law and mother-in-law. Those will be father-in-law and mother-in-law. And suppose if my father had some brother, or if my father had some sister, those will be to be uncle and aunt. Those will be to be uncle and aunt. So these are the only six relations which will come at plus one generation. These are the only relations which will come at plus one generation. What are the relations which will come at plus one generation? Means father, mother, uncle, aunt, father-in-law and mother-in-law. These are the only relations which will come at plus one generation. No other relations which will come apart from these six. And let us take one more relations above the plus one. So that is plus two generation. So what are the relations which will come at a plus two generation? Suppose if it is a plus two, a word grand will be added. A word grand will be added. Suppose your father's father will be to your grandfather and your father's mother will be to your grandmother. So these are grandfather and grandmother, and sometimes we also occurred grand uncle and grand aunt. So what is grand uncle and what is grand aunt? Suppose if your grandfather had some brother, suppose if your grandfather had brother, so that brother we call it as grand uncle. That brother we call it as grand uncle. Suppose if your grandfather had some sister, suppose if your grandfather had sister, those sister will be to you grand aunt. Those sister will be to you grand aunt. So these are the only relations which will come at a plus two generation. So what are the relations which will come at plus two generation? Means grandfather, grandmother, grand aunt, grand uncle. And let us take one more relation above this one. So that is, if it is of plus three generation, a word will be added, that is great grand. In plus two generation we are adding only grand, but in the case of plus three, great grand will be added. So what are the relations which will come at great grand? Means so great grandfather, great grandmother. And there is not necessary this generation. Why? Because that much extent in blood relations will not be, but knowing this is will be helpful us. So, so these are the relations which will come at plus three generation. So what are the relations which will come at plus three generation? Means a great grandfather, great grandma, great grandmother, great grand uncle, and great grand aunt. So we have seen that the three generations which is above to us. We have seen that the three generations which is above us. And let us also try to see the generations below us. Let us see the three generations which is below us. So the generation which is below us, we denoted with minus one generation. Minus one generation. See here, suppose if you are a male person and if you are getting married, you will get your wife. After getting married, you will get children. You will definitely get children. Suppose those are son and daughter, you will get son and daughter. And if your son or daughter will grown up and they are also getting married, after getting married you'll get what? You'll get son-in-law and daughter-in-law. Suppose if we had a sister, suppose if we are having a sister, and your sister is also getting married, and they too have some children. Those children we called as nephew and niece. Those children will be called as nephew and niece. Suppose, and if we had a brother, and your brother's children will also be to you nephew and niece. Those, and your brother's children also will be nephew and niece to you. Next, these are the relations which will come at -1 generation. And let's see -2 generation. Let's see about -2 generation. So at -2 generation, after getting married by your children, and your children are also get some children, those children will be to you grandson and granddaughter. And at -3 generation, you will get great grandson and great granddaughter. So try to remember this generation thought. Let's take a screenshot of this one for better understanding this one. So try to take a screen. You are at this position. You may be either male person or you may be either female person. It is same for either you are a male person or you are a female person. So try to memorize this chart. So it is helpful for us in solving the blood relation problems. And let's move to further. Here, so we will be called as a bachelor means unmarried male person will be called as a bachelor. And there is also some doubt for us. So sir, then what will be called as unmarried female person? So unmarried female person will be called as spinster. Unmarried female person will be called as spinster. Suppose if you are getting married and unfortunately if your father or mother died, and the second person, or suppose if your father also married the second person or second wife, so in that case we will be called as some children, that is stepfather, stepmother, stepdaughter, stepson. So that is the second person in your family. And suppose, and these are important for us while solving the blood relation problems. Suppose as a connection statements, who, whom, which was present in the statement, then take second person as a reference or preceding person or before person as for reference. So let us take an example here. So example here, A is the father of B, comma, who is the sister of C, who is the sister of C. So this was a given statement for us. So how we need to read this statement means we need to split the statements first. So you see here as a connection statement here, who was given. This statement can be read like this. A is the father of B. Up to this is nothing will be changed, but after this only it will be changed. So what I told, if who was present, take second person as per reference. So let us name the persons here. So here A was the first person, B was the second person, and C was the third person in the particular statement. So what I told here, if whom, which was present, take second person as per reference or before person or preceding person as per reference. So who will be present before who? Who will be present before who? It means B was present at before who. So this statement can be read like B is the sister of C. So I'm writing the statement again. A is the father of B, comma, P is the sister of C. So this is how we need to split the given statements. And let us see about for this one also. And comma but. Sometimes instead of giving who, whom, which here, sometimes they also give and comma but. So in that case, we need to take the first person as for reference. Let's see how to take the first person as for reference. Suppose instead of giving here, see here, here it's the same statement I'm writing here. Here A is the father of B and is the sister of C and is the sister of C. How we need to read this statement here? So here and was present here. If and was present, what I told, take first person as per reference. So this statement can be read like this. The same first statement will be as it is. A is the father of A is the father of B, and here and was present. If and was present, what I told, take first person as for reference. Here A was the first person and B was the second person and C was the third person. So we need to take the first person as for reference. So here A was the first person and the statement can be read like this. A is the sister of C. So A is the sister of C. So how to arrange this statement diagrammatical, we'll see in the next slide. So, but try to understand this one. If we understand these points, these 2 points only, then it will be easy for you to solve the problems of blood relations. I'm repeating again. If who comma whom comma which present, take second person as for reference or preceding person as for reference or before person as for reference. If and comma but was present, take first person as per your reference. So how to split the statement also I have written here. So try to listen carefully and let's see some of the examples related to the blood relations. Before going to actual problems, let's see some of the examples, and if you are able to understand these examples, then it is easy for us to solve the actual problems of blood relations. Let's see this problem. So what I gave in the question, A is the father of B, comma, who is the sister of C. If you think the same statement which I have written just now only. So what I told to this one, I need to split the statement here. So A is the father of A. So try to habituate arranging the statements like this. So here A is the father to whom B. So A is the father to whom B. A is the father to B, and here who was present. If who was present, we need to take the preceding person as for reference. We need to take the preceding person as for reference. And the statement can be read like this. B is the sister. B is the sister of C. Why I'm representing like this months? Here father, the word father, just now only we discussed the generation chart. So what I told, where the father was present, which is above 12. Suppose if I am at a 0th generation, father will be at a +1 generation. Suppose if B was a 0th generation, father will be at +1 generation. So here A is the father. A is the father. Since he gave it as father, I am denoting him. Since A is a male person, I am denoting him with a positive symbol here. And father of B. Next statement we already gave. B is the sister. In the question, he mentioning that B is a female person. B is a female person, and B is the sister of C. So in this, in order to note one point, suppose note point here. So in order to say generation gap, not to say generation gap, we are basically represented with a vertical line. We are basically represented with a vertical line. So in order to say the generation gap, we basically represented with a vertical line, and the same generation can be represented with a horizontal line. Same generation can be represented with a horizontal. So the generation gap basically represented with a vertical line, and the same generation we basically represented with a horizontal line. And one more note point in this blood relations. So all of you need to remember this point. Unless he or she specifies the gender, we should not assume the gender. We should not assume the gender. So he has to give in the question particularly. If you are not mentioning the gender, we should not assume the gender. So if we assume he may be a male person or he may be a female person, like that, we should not assume. If we gave in the question, we need to take that one. If we didn't mention anything about the gender of that particular question, we need to leave as it is only. See here, while arranging the year, I am denoting A was a female person and B was a here A was a male person and B was a female person. But for C, I didn't mention the gender of C. Why? Because it was not mentioned in the problem. It was not mentioned in the problem. That's why I have left here. It is not a female person. It is another male person. So he has some questions here. These questions are also very important. So further examples are based on this only. So see here, how was C related to B? How was C related to B? Which means C was to B what? How C was related to B? So how was C related to B? So after 2, who was present? B was present. So we need to point that person. We need to point that person. C was related to B what? C was C was related to B what? Suppose if C was a male person, if C was a male person, it will be what? It will be either brother. If it is a C was a male person, it will be of brother. Suppose if C was a female person, she will be sister to B. So why? Because here as the gender of C is not known for us, so it may be either sister or it may be either brother. Next, how C was related to A? 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 As A is the father of B, as A is the father of B. Similarly, A is also father of, or simply we call it as. Suppose if C is a male person, he will be son. If C is a female person, she will be daughter to A. She will be daughter to A. Next, how many male persons are there? How many male persons are there? See here A was a female person and B is a female person, and the gender of C is not known for us. So what is asking in the question? How many male persons are there? How many male persons are? If you see the fourth question also, how many definite male persons are there? Sir, what is the difference between third question and fourth question? See here in this question, he simply asks about how many male persons are there. As the gender of C is not known for us, as the gender of C is not known for us, so we cannot determine how many male persons are there in this particular problem. Why? Because he simply gave that male persons. How many male persons? As the gender of C is not known for us, we cannot determine that or cannot determine how many male persons are there in this particular problem. See here, but in this fourth problem, what he asks, how many definite male persons are there? Which means he asks the exact number of male persons. Exact number of male persons. So how many exact number of male persons are there? Only one male person was present in this particular problem. So I am repeating again. How was C related to B means as the gender of C is not known for us, so it may be either brother or sister. And how is C related to A? So C may be either daughter or C may be either son. And how many male persons? So as the gender of C is not known for us, so we cannot determine how many male persons are present. So it is not only for male person, it is also for same for female persons are also. And instead of here if we give female also it will be same way because only one female person was definitely mentioned here. Let's move to the next problem here. See this problem. I already told the spouse, wife and husband relationship. The wife and husband relationship is represented with a spouse relation. And there is one more point. In order to represent a spouse relation, we basically represented with a double-ended arrow. Spouse relationship is basically represented with a double-ended arrow. Double-ended arrow like this. So here what I gave, A is the spouse of B. Up to this we don't know who is male person and who is female person. Up to this statement we don't know the gender of A and B. But after this statement, read here. Here who was given, if who was given, what I told, we need to take the second person as per reference. So we need to read the statement like this: B is the only daughter of C. B is the only daughter. B is the only daughter to whom? C. B is the only daughter of C. Suppose see here, he already mentioned that in between A and B, they established a spouse relation. By statement, I came to know that here B was a female person. If B was a female person, then definitely A will be what? Then definitely A will be a male person. Why I am taking like that means in the question he clearly mentioned that A and B had a spouse relation, which means wife and husband relations. If the gender of one person is known, the other gender we can automatically append the gender. See here, I came to know that by this statement here B was a female person. If B was a female person, then definitely A will be a male person. So this was the arrangement for this one. And try to see the statement. See here, A is the sister-in-law of B. A is the sister-in-law of A is the sister-in-law of B. See here, for this we have two possibilities. For this we have two possibilities. Suppose see here, suppose if A was here, A is the sister-in-law, which means A is a female person. A is a female person. A is the sister-in-law of B. So how it is possible means, suppose if you are getting married, we are getting married and your husband had either brother or sister. Your husband had either brother or sister. In that case, this B will be A will be sister-in-law of B. So that is one possibility. Next, there is also one more possibility. Here A is the sister-in-law of B. There is also one more possibility. Suppose if we had either brother or sister, we had either brother. Suppose this X person, let us assume this as X person. Suppose this X person is a male person. Let us why? Because we are establishing a spouse relation. As the gender of one person is known, we can easily append the gender of other person here. Next, it is saying that sister-in-law relation has to be established. How the sister-in-law relation has to be established means, suppose this X person had be either B may be a male person. In that case also A will be sister-in-law to B. Suppose if B was a female person also, in that case also A will be sister-in-law to B. Next, second possibility. The second possibility, suppose if A was here, let us take X person here. Here X may be either male person or female person, or A had brother or sister. This X person is either brother or sister, and this X person is getting married with the person B. Suppose if X was a male person, P will be definitely a female person. In that case also, sister-in-law relation will be established in between A and B. Suppose if X was a female person, B definitely a male person. In that case also, sister-in-law relation will be established. Sir, how to take when to take case 1 and when to take case 2. Suppose in the case of give preference to puzzles and seating arrangements in this first case. So we need to take preference as this one in the case of puzzles and seating arrangement, and we need to give preference for this one in the case of blood relations. So as we are discussing the blood relation concept, we need to give preference to this one. So all of you make a note of it. Next, it is also very similar to the previous one. A is the brother-in-law. A is the brother-in-law of B. A is the brother-in-law of B. So for this also there will be two possibilities here. The same possibilities here. Suppose if A was a male person and he is getting married with some person X. Is getting married with some person X, and X had some brothers or sisters. So this A will be brother-in-law to B. Whether B is a male person or female person, in both cases also A will be brother-in-law only. Next, take second case. Suppose if A was here and A had some brother or sister. A had some brother or sister. Suppose if this X was a male person and is getting married, so definitely B will be a female person. In that case, also in between A and B, brother-in-law relation will be established. Suppose if X was a female person, B will be of a male person. So in that case also brother-in-law relation will be established. So in the same case also, so we need to give preference to puzzles and seating arrangement for this one, and we need to give preference to blood relations for this one. So try to remember these points. It will be helpful for us while solving the problems of blood relations. So let us move to the actual problems. So the first model of problem. So he gave is A is B's daughter, B is C's mother, D is C's brother. Then what he asks is how is D related to A? So in order to solve this problem, we need to represent the given data diagrammatically. So if we practice more number of problems, then it is easy for us to arrange diagrammatically this data. So see carefully how I am arranging the data here. So this A is B's daughter can be read like this. A is the daughter of B. This statement can be read like this. A is the daughter of B. And the same also, the statement also can be read like this. B is the mother of C. B is the mother of C. And this statement can also be read like this. D is the brother of C. So we need to arrange the given data diagrammatically here. See here how I am arranging here. So A is the daughter to whom A is the daughter means A is a female person and she is the daughter to whom means for B. So that was about first statement. A is the daughter of B. So I already told in order to say the generation gap, we basically represented with a vertical line, and in order to say the same generation, we basically represented with a horizontal line. So here generation gap was present. So that's why we are represented with a vertical line here. Next, second statement. B is the mother. So B is the mother here, which means B is a female person. B is the mother of whom? B is the mother of C again. So then also again the same relation. Why? Because here actually A is daughter with the first statement. So here C also daughter directly. So we are there will be of siblings. This A and C will be of siblings, but the gender of C is not known for us up to this point. Next, read the last statement. D is the brother. Here, D is the brother of C. D is the brother. D is the brother of C. And I already told brother, sister, they are all of same generation only. Cousins, wife, husband, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, all will come at a zeroth generation. So all are come at this generation only. So what is asking the question? How is D related to A? How is D related to A? So how is D related to A? Then what is the relation of D to A? What is the relation of D to A? Here D is a male person and he is a female person. So what will be directly? So it will be simply brother. Why? Because there is no possibility for the case of father. Why? Because all are this A, C, D, all are present in the same generation. All are present in the same generation. But father was at plus one generation, grandfather was at plus two generation, son was at minus generation. But we need to find a generation which will be at zeroth generation. So only brother will be at zeroth generation. So the answer for this problem will be option C, brother. Let's move to the next problem. Here, this is also very similar to the previous question. So I am arranging the question here. So I already told how to read this statement. P is Q's brother means we need to read the like P is the brother of Q, R is the mother of Q, S is the father of R, T is the mother of S. We need to read the statement like that. So I am arranging the statements here. P is the brother of Q. So since he mentioned that brother, so both brothers are will be at the same generation only. Next, R is the mother of Q. R is the mother of Q. So since he mentioned in the problem as mother, so there will be a generation gap. So mother will be of the +1 generation. That's why I'm representing here generation gap here. Next, S is the father of R. So here S is the father. S is the father of R, and see he mentioned in the problem as father, so there will be generation gap here. Next, last statement, T is the mother of S. Okay, T is the mother of S. So T is the mother of S. So what is asking the question, how is P related to T? How is P related to T? See here, first generation, second generation, and third generation. So what will be, definitely it will come. So grandfather will be at per generation +2 generation. So this will not be the answer. Why? Because my answer will be at, there will be a generation gap of 1, 2, and 3. So with a generation gap of 3, only one option is present. So that will be of great grandson. So P will be great grandson to T. And this is also not the answer. Why? Because grandson will be at -2 generation and grandmother will be at +2 generation. So only option satisfying the given data is option B only. I hope we understand this problem. Next, move to the next problem. See this problem. Rajiv is the brother of A. Rajiv is the brother of A. Okay, Rajiv is the brother of Atul. And Sonia is the sister of Sunil. Sonia is the sister of Sunil, and Atul is the son of Sonia. Atul is the son of Sonia. Then he asking about how is Rajiv related to Sonia. Rajiv related to Sonia. So let us try arranging the statement also. So what he gave in the question? Here Rajiv is the brother to whom, for Atul. Rajiv is the brother of Atul. Next, Sonia is the sister of Sunil, which means there is no connection for this statement. So leave this statement for the time being. So let's move to the next statement. Atul is the son of Sonia. So Atul is the son to whom, for Sonia. Atul is the son of Sonia. Now the connection is established for us. So read this second statement again. Sonia is the sister. Sonia is the sister to whom? Sunil. So this was the given data in this problem. So what is asking the question? How is Rajiv related to Sonia? How is Rajiv related to Sonia? So here in the question he gave us Atul is the son of Sonia, and here Rajiv and Atul both are brothers. Both are brothers, or both are of siblings. Both are of siblings. So you will be, what is asking the question? How is Rajiv related to Sonia? So what will be Rajiv to Sonia? So the answer will be directly son. Why? Because there is no path. So there must be a generation gap of -1 in between Sonia and Rajiv. So this also will be at -1 generation only. But son is also at -1 generation. Brother will be at 0 generation. Father will be at +1 generation. So our answer should be either nephew or son. But he clearly mentioned here Rajiv and Atul both are brothers. So and here Sonia is the mother of Atul. So definitely Rajiv is also the son of Sonia. So the answer for this problem will be son. Let's move to the next problem. See this problem. A and B are the sisters. R and S are the brothers. A's daughter, A's daughter is R's sister. A's daughter is R's sister. Then what is B's relation to S? Let us, what is B's relation to S? So let us try arranging the statement here. So what he gave in this question is A and B are sisters. A and B both are sisters. R and S are brothers. R and S are brothers. R and S are brothers. And he gave one statement for connection, not to establish the connection. Here A, what he gave, A's daughter. Suppose if A is married and A had some daughter. A's daughter A's daughter is R's sister. A's daughter is R's. Suppose R had some sister, R's sister, like this. So let us see the arrangement here. Here, A and B are sisters, and A's daughter is R's sister. A's daughter is R's sister. So the daughter of A is R's sister. The daughter of A is R's sister. And in the question he gave it as R and S both are brothers. R and S both are brothers. And what is asking the question? What is B's relation to S? What is B's relation to S? And what is B to S? So here B was at this generation and S was at this position. So he will leave aunt to. Why? Because aunt. Here A and B are sisters. So I already told sisters, mother's sister will be. Why? Because here A is the mother of S. Here A is the mother of S and A and B are sisters. I already told in the class that while we were giving the introduction, mother's sister will be aunt. So the answer for this problem will be aunt. Let's move to the next problem. The next question. E is the sister of B. E is the sister of B. A is the father of C. B is the son of C. And he asking us how is A related to E? Asking us to find how is A related to E. Let us try to arrange the statements or the given statements diagrammatically in order to say the answer exactly. So let us try arranging here. E is the sister of B. Next, A is the father of C. There is no connection for this statement. So leave this statement for the time being. And let us read the statement. B is the son. B is the son of C. B is the son of C. So now the connection is established in this statement. See here, A is the father of C. A is the father of C. And what is asking in the question? How is A related to E? How is A related to E? How is A related to E? So as there is a generation gap of 2, as there is a generation gap of 2, so we need to check with the generation gap of 2. So it is also grandfather plus 2, granddaughter is a minus 2 and father is at a plus 1. Great grandfather will be at a plus 3 generation. What I told, there must be a generation gap of plus 2. So what is the generation gap of plus 2 here? It will be of grandfather. So here A will be grandfather to E. So if instead of asking this, how is A related to E? So if we ask like this, how is E related to, how is E related to A means the answer will be what? The answer will be this one, granddaughter. So E will be granddaughter to A and A will be grandfather to E. I hope you understand this problem. Let's move to the next problem. See this problem. A is B's brother, C is A's mother, D is C's father, E is B's son. And what is asking? How is D related to A? How is D related to A? And I gave some options to us. Let us try arranging the statements here. So what I gave, A is the brother of B. A is the brother of B. Next, C is the mother of A. C is the mother of A. Next, B is C's father. D is C's father. D is C's father. Next, E is okay. D is the father. D is the father of C. Next, E is B's son. E is the son of B. E is the son of A is the son of B. What is asking the question? How is D related to A? How is D related to A? How is D related to A? So since there is a generation gap of plus 2 here in between A and D, So the answer will be what? Definitely. So son is at what generation? Son is at minus 1 generation. Grandson will be at minus 2 generation. Grandfather will be at plus 2 generation. Great grandfather will be at plus 3 generation. So what I need, there must be a generation gap of plus 2 in between A and O. So with plus 2 generation, only one option is present. So D will be grandfather to A. D will be grandfather to A. Suppose if we ask like this, how is A related to D means the answer will be grandson. So A will be grandson to D and D will be grandfather to A. So I hope you understand this problem. So the answer for this problem will be option C. It is grandfather. Let's move to the next question. See this question, and this is one of the typical question and most important question. If you understand this question, you will be able to solve any of the questions in blood relation under this model. Let us try arranging this one. Sita is the niece of Ashok. Suppose if Ashok was here, I already told one point here. As names suggesting a male person's here, we should not assume Ashok must be a male person. Why? Because he didn't mention anything about here Ashok was a male person or Ashok was a female person. So names suggesting the male characteristics or female characteristics, we should not assume the gender in that case also. Unless and until he specify the gender, we should not assume the gender. Keep it in mind this point. So here Ashok, Sita is the niece of Ashok. Suppose Ashok had some sister or brother, and your sister's brother will be Sita. Next, Ashok's mother is Lakshmi. So Ashok's mother. So he mentioned clearly Ashok's mother is Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is a female person. Lakshmi is a female person. Next, Kalyani is Lakshmi's mother. Okay, Kalyani is Lakshmi's mother. Why? Because he also mentioned clearly here. Kalyani's husband, okay, Kalyani's husband is Gopal. Kalyani's husband is Gopal. So, as spouse relation is established in between Kalyani and Gopal, Gopal must be a male person here. Anyhow, he didn't mention in the problem, but there must be a spouse relation is established. Suppose if you know the gender of one person, you can definitely say the gender of other person in the case of spouse relation. So, Gopal must be a male person. Next. Parvati is the mother-in-law of Gopal. Parvati is the mother-in-law of Gopal. Suppose Gopal, it is directly like Parvati will come here. Parvati is the mother-in-law. Suppose Parvati had a daughter Kalyani. Parvati had a daughter Kalyani. And Kalyani is married with Gopal. So in this case also, Parvati is the mother-in-law of Gopal. Parvati is the mother-in-law of Gopal. So what is asking the question? How is Sita related to Gopal? Any of this statement is not necessary for in this particular problem. This particular statement is not necessary in this particular problem. So why? Because how is Sita related to Gopal? Only ask. How is Sita related to Gopal? So see the generation gaps here. One generation, two generation, and three generation. So among the given generation with a generation gap of 3, we need to find the answer. So you see here great grandson. So great grandson's daughter. So in this also plus 3 generation was present. Gopal is Sita's father. So here plus 1 generation. Sita is Gopal's great granddaughter. Here minus 3 generation and grandniece. So minus 2 generation. So I already told there must be a generation gap of 3. So see the answer here. See the answer here. Sita, how is Sita related to Gopal? Since the Sita is as a name suggesting a female person, but in the question he didn't mention Sita is a female person. Okay, from the niece we can define the gender of Sita. So since niece represents a female person, nephew means a positive male person. So the gender of Sita is also known for us. So it is Sita is a female person. So we need to define how is Sita related to Gopal. So it must be a great grandson's daughter because suppose if it will be of male person, it will be like great grandson's daughter, or if it is of female person, it will be of great granddaughter's daughter. There are two possibilities, but only one option is present here: great grandson's daughter or great granddaughter's daughter. Two possibilities are present, but among the given option, only one option is given. The answer will be great grandson's daughter. I hope you understand this problem, and let's go to the next problem. Okay, we'll discuss this problem in the next class. Thank you for joining the class. Have a good day. We'll see you in the next class. Try to follow our social media platforms in MSMF classes. Thank you for joining the class.